Fact or fiction? How do we tell a fact from an opinion? I know it sounds a little bit silly and it all seems very easy and simple when we're giving advice to friends and family. But the second that we get involved, the second that we're pulled into the mix and it becomes personal, we tend to lose our ability to tell truth from non-truth. So if this is the kind of thing you're interested in, please keep watching and I'll share with you the 3 tips that I use to help me stay with reality, to help me stay with the fact. Tip number 1. One of the things that truly helps me stay with the fact and not drift away into something that is fictional is I pay attention to the statements that are being made, right? And if they're being made in the past tense or in the present tense, because that's a very good indicator whether something is a fact or not. Whenever we're talking about facts, they either took place in the past or they're currently taking place right now. And every time we drift off into the future and we're talking about will and is going to happen, right? That is a fairly good indicator that now we're starting to speculate and we're getting away from the truth, we're getting away from the facts. And unfortunately, our personal biases and prejudices will allow us to do this. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 to help me stay with the fact is to find out if what we're discussing is applicable in all situations. Because it may very well be a fact under one set of circumstances, but it may not be a fact under a different set of circumstances, right? So based on my circumstances and situation, I want to make sure that this is applicable, right? That was tip number 2. Tip number 3 is extremely simple. Be skeptical, doubt, ask questions, inquire into it, do your homework, do your research, right? Don't settle simply for what you hear. Don't agree or disagree. And that being said, do you think you should simply agree or disagree with what you've just heard? Absolutely not. If any of this is important to you and matters, find out for yourself. Look into it, right? Make sure that it means something to you. Because what I say means absolutely nothing. It may be totally meaningless to you if anything that I'm saying here is not your experience or you don't see it this way, you don't see the truth of it, right? And that's tip number 3, which really, it sounds very simple, but is key to staying with reality. And when it comes to real estate and making the right decision, it is imperative that we don't stray away from facts. After all, we're not talking about spending a few dollars here and there. We're talking about spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I hope you find some of this beneficial and useful to you. And as always, if you have questions, comments, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I will see you all next week.